We're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to a few of you. Welcome to today's community briefing. Today is the 2nd of June in the year 2022. So we're into June. And there shortly, this year will be half over. Where did it go? Seems like it was just New Year's, right? So we're last month of the second quarter. We're glad you joined us today. Our guest was not able to make it today. We were expecting the Honorable Curran Price, and he is hot on the campaign trail. Voting is next Tuesday, the 7th. So if you haven't voted here in the California area and Los Angeles area, we encourage you to vote. I know that I've voted already and got my ballot in. So hopefully you guys have done the same. So today we're going to have a little bit of a freelance meeting. We'll have some individuals share with us what they do. Speaking of which, my name is Gregory Sneed, and the name of my company is Lifesaver Financial Services, where I help my clients keep more of the money they make. And I do that through life insurance products, financial coaching, and financial literacy training. Where I firmly believe that when you feel better about your money, you feel better about your life. If you'd like to get back on speaking terms with your money, I'll put some information in the chat and be happy to reacquaint you with your funds. And now, without further delay, it's my honor and privilege to welcome to our virtual stage the queen of our community briefing, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Hello. It's always good to be on speaking terms with your money, Greg. Better than not being on terms with them. Welcome, everyone, to the community briefing. We are happy to have you. This is our community briefing, so please share, network, and if you have any guests that you'd like to see on or anyone you'd like to see here presenting, then let Stephen or myself or Greg know, and we will make sure that we get them on. This platform is sponsored by Recycling Black Dollars and the BBA, the Black Business Association, and powered by. And we are happy to have you. We're going to have a good meeting today, so everyone gets to share. Every now and then we do that, and that's the purpose of this platform, is so that we know what you do so that we can support you. Voting day is here. It is so vitally important, everyone, that we vote. And this one is important because we need to get the people on the general for the general election. So the primary is really important as well. So go out and vote if you haven't done so already. I see throughout the city different little areas. I think Inglewood had theirs on Tuesday of last week. So ours is next Tuesday. So make sure in Los Angeles. So make sure you go out and vote. There's a lot of issues. Seems like we're on a free for all with shooting up the people of the United States, the citizens and the babies and the elderly. So our voice needs to be heard. So welcome. Thank you. Stephen. Steven says hello. And our other co-host, we have a great team, guys. And our other co-host, Miss Robin Billups, she's back on cycle with her treatment. She visited us last week, so whenever she has an opportunity, she will join us as well. So keep her in your prayers so that she is in the healing mode. So thank you. So Greg, back to you.
Yes, yes, yes. So I want to reemphasize the importance of voting. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago where we had Tina McKinnon. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
seems like 2 weeks. And and there was an April. I don't know if it was a primary, but there was an April ballot for the 61st, 62nd congressional district, and the voter turnout was like 10.1 or 10.2%. So that means that 9 out of 10 people who were registered to vote didn't vote. And then we wonder why things don't happen. So um, hopefully we get a little larger numbers for this upcoming vote June 7th, next Tuesday. It's vote by mail, so it's super easy now, or you can go to the poll, but it's very, very easy. I did the vote by mail and dropped it off to the Yvonne Burke Center. I got a voter drop off, and I got an email in the mail. Well, in the mail, I got an email. I got an email confirmation that the vote was registered, it was counted, and so I felt felt good that I'm at least doing my part, and hope all of us are doing our parts. Because statistically, if they're saying 10%, it means hopefully we're in that small minority of 10 or 20%. But it's important to get out there and vote. So that's my spiel on voting today. Our guest was today was scheduled to be Current Price, and he's on the ballot, I believe. I'm a I'm not a city of Los Angeles resident, so I don't see or get to vote for city of LA um, officers or posts. We've got a mayoral election, and it's unfortunate that we don't get to different cities we don't get to vote on the mayor, but the mayor of Los Angeles has a huge impact on all the surrounding cities, Culver City and Inglewood and Compton, and all those cities are dramatically impacted by who is in that office. So that's where we are, and we need to be active. We're unhappy with what's happening in our community and with our government. Our country is controlled by 535 people. You look at the president, the VP, the Congress, and the House of Representatives. The 535 people all are directly in control of what happens, and that's a small number of people to do that. And so we need to communicate with our representatives to do it. So that said, Crystal, I'm gonna hand it back to you, and I believe we have we're gonna do a free for all. What's the
We're gonna have a
freelancing?
Yeah, we're going to do an RBD, reach out and introduce yourself and share whatever you want to share. I think Linda has some great stuff going on, but we're going to start with Bianca, Miss World Traveler, gone off to visit the world and Dave Cause, and she's been having fun while we all been working, so she's going to share that, but she also has something coming up that she's sharing with us. So Miss
And
Bianca.
she brought us some souvenirs, right?
I ate it all. It was such a long plane ride. I ate all.
So she's going to share with us now.
Some
Good
verbal
morning,
souvenirs.
everyone.
There we go.
I'm Bianca Vobecki Enterprises, construction and nationwide trucking company, and I'm also a director for the Little Sunshine Foundation. It is a nonprofit, a 501c3 that my daughter started when she was 14 years old. It's called the Little Sunshine Foundation to help underserved kids. And it has three missions. One is academics, and to help underserved kids with academics and sports programs, while providing an avenue to give them an opportunity to become leaders in their community. This Saturday, we're having a comedy and barbecue fundraiser. It's going to be in Glendora at City Hall. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And all the proceeds to that will go towards providing school supplies and backpacks for kids that can't afford it right now. I mean, the backpacks have gotten so expensive nowadays. And so the nonprofit will, the funds that from there will go to the backpacks and scholarships for the kids, and to help their parents, help them get back to school. And if you could join us, I think, Steve, you have the invitation. I could put it I could put the link in the chat, or you go to littlesunshine.org and you can buy your tickets there. We're almost sold out, but we still have a few tickets left, but it's going to be a great event.
All righty. Thank you, Bianca. Bianca, tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, Vobecki, so what I do to pay my bills.
Yeah, no, to go take those world cruises that you just went on.
Becky Enterprises started in 2006, so we're about 14 years old, and we provide. I'm a general contractor, so we do a lot of construction work. A lot of our construction we do for the federal government, for the military bases, to help keep them up to date, energy efficient, and we also work with a lot of the corporate partners. And what we found out is the union is very strong in Southern California, so we have added other avenues to support the construction industry that does not cross over to the to the union, so we don't get in trouble. So we do also have a division that provides nationwide trucking, so we move materials to and from job sites. So, and we also provide construction staffing and project staffing, and also construction materials. So we work with a lot of the utility companies, and we're enjoying it. We're having fun. So.
Awesome. Well, we're proud of you. You're working hard out there. It's good to see a woman in a predominantly male in industry, really killing it. So, thank you, Miss Ardina. Tell us about yourself and your business and how we can support you.
Amen. Good morning, everyone. I am Ardina Brooks. I am the founder and CEO of Designs by Ardina for over 15 years now. And I create what I call legacy art, which is basically creating art from your memorable photos so that you can preserve them and continue telling the stories and pass them on from generation to generation. I also I'm a graphic designer as well. As Bianca was saying, that's what pays the bills. But my passion is definitely the art. I also create digital fine art as well, and have them printed on acrylic, aluminum, metal, and canvas. Those are the three main options, so that you can preserve them and they will last longer than printing them on paper, as we're more commonly used to. I am, for the first time, an author. I'm collaborating with 29 other people on a book that's called The Impact of One Voice. All of the writers are speakers, and I have entered into that arena as well. So I'm excited. That should be coming out. Our book should be coming out around August or September. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
And you can support me. I'll put my information in the chat. I know most of you know me, but I will put it in the chat. And I would love to create anything for you that's worth passing on and preserving for your own families. And who knows, it may just be one of those pieces of legacy history that will go on forever. Thank you, and good morning again.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Support her. She does a fantastic job. So for those of you, we're in your family reunion time. So if you have some wonderful pictures of your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents that need restoration, Ardina is the person to go see. She will turn your family photos into a work of art. So please support her. We all need to preserve our artifacts in our families. So, all righty. Thank you, Ms. Ardina.
Thank you.
Miss Linda Sams, are you there?
Yes, I am. Morning, 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 family.
Good morning, Linda. I know you. I see on Facebook you got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Why does everybody say that? It just seems like I'm just all over the place when they say that.
But tell us what you do and how we can support you and what's going on over there at both of your ventures, the jazz venture and as well as your marriage, your love, your connection, your...
Well. Okay, let me start by saying what's coming up next. I am on my 4th year of presenting the Jazz in the Sky, the David Cunningham Jr. Jazz in the Sky at the City Club coming up on July the 30th. I did drop that flyer in the chat for you to pull up. I am now bossing up in a new area. When my beloved big sister, Barbara Morrison, passed away, her and I were collaborating on a nonprofit called the Leimert Park Jazz and Blues Society. And with her death, she had urged me to form my own nonprofit prior to her death. And I did that. January the 25th, I launched Jazz Zone Jazzabration, which is the work that I've been doing for the past 12 years, honoring and celebrating jazz and blues legends. So every third Thursday at her space, Tim Morganfield is now running it. We created a third Thursday birthday legacy celebration, whereby we're now honoring and celebrating all of the jazz and blues legends that we've honored over the past year, which totals 192. So I got my work cut out there. But my beloved love is at the City Club, where I do my best work. And this Jazz in the Sky, like I said, is in its 4th year. We do 4 a year, January, April, July, and October. I'm looking for Boss Up sponsors who would love to come and help support that work up in the City Club, and who would like to come support the third Thursdays here in Leimert Park.
Okay, so how do we get tickets? Where do we register? Where do we go?
For the City Club, you can go to, you can email, I'm typing my information so I can put it in the chat. My PayPal, Zelle, any of that. RSVP, most of you have friends who are members of the City Club, the Jazz in the Sky is now being only available through membership. So members must invite you to be able to attend that event. It's open to the public, but only through members invite. And I've had to lock it down that way just because of making sure that we are accommodating, and we sell out very quickly. So we want to make sure that our friends get their friends into this amazing event. And so I'll put that in the chat right now as well. The donations for the Thursday, that goes to help Tim keep the lights on there at Barbara Morrison's place. And we are celebrating birthdays. So if your birthday is in the month of June, please come out and celebrate with us. You will be celebrated with a birthday sash and a cupcake and photos. And then you'll be inducted into our December Hall of Fame Legacy Birthday Celebration.
Oh, so Barbara, everything is still going on as was when she was awesome. I was concerned about that. So
yeah,
let's
Tim
support them.
Morganfield is running it. Everything is in his name. It's now called the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, and he's keeping the lights on. And I'm assisting with my third Thursday event. We have First Thursday Blues there. He's started a vocal workshop. So yeah, he's keeping the legacy going, because we will be naming the block Barbara Morrison Square real soon. And that's right there at 43rd and Degnan. That will become Barbara Morrison Square. And we're doing a festival called the Barbara Morrison Leimert Park Festival on her birthday, September the 10th and 11th. So save the dates for those events.
Awesome. Your podcast still going on?
Yes, I do that every first and third Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. I'm keeping my married friends married. Just for the sake of having that podcast, they have committed to not getting a divorce. And I'm talking about some of my very high profile friends who have thought and contemplated, during this COVID, I'm out. But every time they turn on Facebook and they see, oh, Linda Mary tried, oh, let me reconsider. Because she gonna know and she gonna tell folks. So
all right.
It's about keeping my married friends married. So I'll continue that forever.
Well, That's awesome. So for those of you that need a little reinforcement and married, then go on over to Linda's at her podcast and find some tips and tricks. And if nothing else, just complain with each other, commiserate with each other.
Oh yeah. Start taking some of these trips that we go on. As married couples, you got to get out and get away. We do retreats every 3 or 4 months. So you got to keep it fresh.
Okay, well, thank you, Miss Linda. Appreciate you. Miss Emily Owens, our guest today is not coming. He's out on the campaign trail, which is important. So we are now introducing, and we're using this spot to share and to highlight our own businesses and our own and our community. So share with us whatever you want to share. Tell us about your business and how we can help you.
Okay, well, sorry, I've been missing in action. I actually have purchased a house. And
Awesome!
yeah, I bought a new home. So yeah. And then I'm expanding my real estate business. So I'm just, like everybody else, I'm just trying to take advantage of COVID and do as much as I can while I can. So what I do basically, I run several businesses. I own Angel Wings Agency, which is a agency that provides services to people with disability. And so we contract, I've been in business for 16 years with the state, providing services to those with disabilities. So we support people with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, mental struggles, etc. Because, we support a variety of people in our program. And we run a two-tier program with the state. So we have a day program, and we also have independent living services, which is a training company to train those who want to move into their own home. So that's one aspect of the business. And then I also have Angel Wings. I also have Spread Your Wings, which is my nonprofit organization that actually I go out and speak and do motivational speaking and do business consulting and et cetera. So I do a lot of things with that. And that's to raise money to provide jobs for those who are in my program who want to work. So we raise money through the nonprofit to provide a paycheck for them, and it gives them an opportunity to work. But we also work with the state that also offer different benefits for them too, if they choose to work as well. And my last but not least is I just really started investing in real estate. I've done very well in it. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. And continue to expand that services in itself. And learning a lot as I go along in the business itself. But those are some of the things that have been keeping me busy. Like I said, I just purchased another home, and for myself, this is my home I bought for myself, which is amazing, praise God. And then, so that's what I've been doing. And anyone knows when you have to move, OMG, you don't know how much stuff you have until you actually have to move.
Well, that's the time you get to throw stuff away.
I've given so much away until I don't even know what else to keep. It's just like, ugh. But anyway, those are the things in which I do. And so I'm always available for the business consulting. I love, talking to those who are kind of stuck and just want to see where they are. How can they expand themselves to go to the next level in their lives? That's what I love doing. And I've had the opportunity to do that a lot, and it's just been wonderful. So any questions or comments, you're welcome to do so. I'll put my information inside the chat. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
You're
John
welcome.
May. You want to tell us about what you are over there doing, and is there money to be lent to people for home buying in California?
Well, thank you for
Free
that,
samples at the bank.
Crystal. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
I just always want to let everybody know, first of all, I'm glad to always be part of this during the week. It's very important, and to celebrate certain milestones and situations that we all experience. So it's always a pleasure to be part of it. On the lending aspect, I just want to say that I'm here to help with mortgages and questions, helping people maintain and learn to get that legacy through home ownership. Always here to answer questions about loans and anything else that somebody may feel that I can help them with. So again, it's always a pleasure to be here, and wishing the best for everybody on the call and onward.
Okay, and who are you? Can you tell everybody who you're with and how they can apply if they're looking for a mortgage loan?
Absolutely. I'm with U.S. Bank Home Mortgage. My information is in the chat. It's john.may@usbank.com. And my number is 213-500-5287. Within that email or that information, you can Google me or send me something direct. I'll send you my website, and there's plenty of information to see about purchase and refinance and different programs that we offer. Just as a footnote, I do builder loans, construction loans, lot loans, and of course, the traditional purchase and refinance. So very aggressive out there, first-time home buyer programs. So have the full gamut. So with my experience as well, I look forward to answering any questions and educating people in the process and helping them achieve that goal of home ownership.
Thank you so much, and so interesting today with the cost of real estate in California.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are the commercial banks providing lending for a homeowner to build an ADU?
Meaning commercial banks, do you mean a bank like mine or a commercial lending?
A bank like yours. So
Yeah, so they're good questions.
As opposed to an SNL, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can take cash out on a refinance to build an ADU. Obviously, it comes down to what the appraiser shows on that property and so forth, but you can take cash out to build an ADU.
Okay. So
And just on that note as well, I mentioned we do construction. So sometimes there's a request where someone wants to do more, maybe do an ADU and more to their property. And if it gets more into the construction space, we can do that as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Not just pulling equity out, because then you can deal with anybody, but just because you mentioned the construction part of it, so that got my brain thinking how to value that, how that gets valued, because you're increasing the value of the property.
Absolutely, and that's a good point, because in construction we're evaluating that future value of the property as part of the process.
That's part of it. Yeah, so that can be big, because now I know there's a neighbor of mine. I don't know him, but I was walking by and the contractor was there, and I looked, and there's a single family home, but in the he's torn down his garage, and he's putting up a 2-story 4-bedroom structure behind the house.
Right. And that's usually on the construction end.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Michael, you want to tell us about what's going on in your world?
Sure. Alexa off. Hello, everybody. Happy almost summer, but looking forward to Black Music Month and all the Juneteenth celebrations. As you all know, that rates are going up with COVID again. It's not officially a surge, but it's just about there. And we're still having folks dying. Just had a frat brother die yesterday in his early 60s. And so we still want to make sure that folks understand that those vaccines and boosters are available. Also, that there are medications available for those folks who are high risk and are diagnosed within the first 5 days of getting symptoms, that there is some medications that can save their lives. These are the medications that helped save Trump. So it's finally available widespread to the general population, and it does work. And so if you know of somebody, just let them know that they can call a pharmacy and get that prescription and show up and pick up that prescription for those medications. We are praying that, during the summer months that we don't hit a big peak like we do each summer. And because what happens is that our older folks are the ones more likely to die, and those with pre-existing conditions. And so we're going to do some special outreach to the seniors that have not been vaccinated or do not have their boosters yet, so that they can get those, so that we don't lose any more of our patriarchs and matriarchs of our family. It's a shame of how many we've lost in the last 2 years. That will cause probably a ripple effect for generations to come, to lose so many of our grandmoms and granddads so early. So just know that we're heading into another surge in the Black community, and just pray for our people.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Especially with all the graduations and the parties and the concerts and all the stuff,
All that.
all the stuff. And I didn't see a whole lot of maskless people in all of those
Oh, yeah.
things.
I was at the DMV last week, and maybe about 10% of the staff had on a mask, and about 1% of the folks' customers. Nobody's, the masking is over. They're done with it. And so you have to protect yourselves and still wear your mask if you're going to be in a confined space with other people.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So there was the original virus. I don't know if they call that Alpha, and I don't know if there was a Beta, and then there was Delta, and then Omicron. So is the original virus still around and flowing, or has it mutated?
Completely mutated, yeah. And it may be around in some of these other countries, but here in America, they're not detecting that at all. We're into now the subvariant of Omicron, which is the predominant strain now. So it's not even the original Omicron. We pretty much in the end of March had gotten rid of the original Omicron. Then there was a variation of that Omicron that came from South Africa, which is now the predominant strain here. We have a few other strains that are floating around, but they're not predominant. So we're still in the Omicron phase, its second iteration.
But that gives some hope or some optimism, like, for example, I don't know what the original was, but I'd call that Alpha. And then there was a Delta. So those have eradicated or just disappeared or
mutated. We'll just say mutated.
Mutated.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Again, I'm sure it's around somewhere in some of these other isolated countries, but here in America, yeah, that has pretty been mutated to the other strains.
And so it is, the original seemed less contagious, but more viral, if you will, or more deadly, if you will. And then
actually, it wasn't. It was because we didn't have all the precautions that we had.
Okay.
We had the lockdown, of course, but we didn't have meds, we didn't have vaccines and all of that. So it was more deadly because folks were unsuspected, weren't wearing masks, weren't doing any of those things. And so it was deadlier. But now that we have the vaccines and the medications, although the new mutation spread easier to catch, we're seeing less deaths because more of us have been vaccinated. And frankly, there's so many Black folks in LA County that's gotten COVID that they have that extra protection.
Okay. All right. So do you have to go to a doctor to get that prescription for the 5-day?
No, what you can do is there's a 800 number through the county that you call that 800 number, and they'll give you a prescription right over the phone and send you to a pharmacy to pick it up. All you have to do is make that call. They'll write the script and send you to where you can pick it up. Kedron also will do that for you over the phone. Good question.
Okay. All right. That sounds fantastic. So if anyone or while everybody's socializing, good idea.
Crystal,
Run on over.
I have a quick comment.
Yes.
I just spent 2 weeks in Europe, and it was shocking because 95% of the people are vaccinated and boosted. Their cases are so low. No one was wearing a mask except for the Americans, because we had to have a negative test to come back to the country and wanted to come home. But everything was wide open. 95% of their qualified citizens were not only vaccinated, but double boosted in all the European countries. And they were living just like it was just amazing. There was no COVID there. So it would be nice if, we could have do something similar.
We on a different projectional right now. No other country has 1,800 mass murdering, mass shooting. No one else in the world is doing what the United States is doing when it comes to taking care of its people. So we're on a different kind of trajectory. I don't know what it is, but it is not on the same planet with all the other countries in this world. It's ridiculous.
It's civil war. That's what it is.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right, because it was political why we are just so far down the chain of any industrialized country.
Yeah.
Totally political.
Yeah.
Stephen, I think you had your hand, Stephen.
No, I was just saying that for those who want masks, I was going to give Dr. Becky another plug. But Bianca,
Yeah, she has great masks. I bought my N95s from her.
And then they're 5 layers, and they're made in the United States, so you know you're getting protection.
Yeah.
Bianca,
So
can you put your website there? How to get some masks?
Okay.
yeah.
And also, we're selling them on Amazon too.
Oh,
All right.
just go to
Thank you.
Amazon.
Daphne, would you like to share with us? Daphne Proof.
Okay, here I am. So I'm so glad I was on mute. You know, you start talking. Good morning. Yes, I am Delphine. Hold on one moment. I didn't realize my computer wasn't plugged in, and I've only got like a little juice left.
Okay.
I wanted to connect it to the thing. Yes, so Delphine Bird, U.S. Bank, Business Access Advisor, new role at U.S. Bank. And I've been here now 7 months, 7.5 months. I'm getting more familiar with the role. But my role is large part of the bank's access program in terms of decreasing wealth gap, between minorities and non-minority, particularly Black people. So my role here at the bank is really to help Black businesses, grow, thrive, and sustain their efforts, through education, coaching, and helping them navigate, financial solutions internally with the bank as well as externally. And I focus on the Black business segment, which I'm honored to do, and it's not new for me. I've been in the community for a long time. I worked for years the organization, but I used to work for CWAG, Coalition for Women's Economic Development with Faresi back at CWAG, spent time at Community Build, went to the Rockefeller Foundation, do some community development work and Fannie Mae, and then went to banking, Bank of the West, now here at U.S. Bank. And what I think is really important, what I'm trying to convey internally and build is really this whole Black business ecosystem where they get access to resources and information that can really help their business grow and thrive. I did consulting for 5 years. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, dating back from my great-grandmother to my grandmother, to my grandfather, to my mom. So, and it's just something that's in my DNA. But I think that what I would like to let folks know is that we're here as a resource. And so what I'm doing is really engaging in outreach to the Black business community to let them know about the resources within U.S. Bank, but also other resources out there. Like I partnered with PCR, as well as other CDFIs out there. I work with Vermont Slaton. Anybody's going to touch a Black business, really going to give them the information and resources that they need. They grow. I see Richards on here. I work with NAC as well. So it goes vice versa, but something that the bank came through. When I work with someone and I meet a Black business, I'm talking to them. If it's something they need and it's not in the bank, I'm going to help them get it wherever it is, whether it's a solution within the bank internally or somewhere externally. And that's my goal. So my goal is really to provide some resources and to help them navigate when it comes to finding financial solutions. We often know that access to capital, is the issue, and then helping them prepare. That's a big part of it. So when it's time to want to get access to capital, I want to be able to put them in a position to where they can get that yes, and actually be transparent about the entire process. And so my role at the bank is simply that. I focus on Black businesses. Not, anybody can join
You're
any
here.
program or anything that I do. Huh? I'm sorry, you still want to say something?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I was just saying that anybody, okay, so anybody could come, but my focus and my resources, my time is gonna be spent on Black businesses.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm doing in a nutshell. We just hosted something with the Urban League. We did a SBA training with the LA Urban League that was well attended, let folks know about the SBA products. And then there's others. And so, you know, anything that we can do to help get the word out, to help Black businesses grow, you know, and sustain their efforts, that's what I'm here to do.
So the Navigator program, right?
Thank you for the time.
The Navigator
Yes.
program?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm teaching 2 classes for that program, cash flow and bookkeeping compliance. So you guys tune in for the next class.
Great.
Yeah. And
Great.
Gilbert
It's
Buchanan is teaching most of the classes.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
awesome.
I think it's something that's needed. People don't understand the resources with the SBA. So glad to hear you doing that, because they have a lot of resources to help as well.
Right. So Delphine, can you put your information in the chat so others can reach out to you? And
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
thank you. And we have Richard Palais. He can tell us about NAC. And they just celebrated, last month was Pacific Asian month, honoring the Pacific Asian community. So Richard, share with us. And then Tracy, you're next.
Oh my, okay, I didn't realize I was going to be on the spot.
I know, huh? Well, that's cause Kern is out there beating down the pavement for voting. So,
oh, okay.
It's called
Got
be
it.
ready,
That's
so you don't have to
why.
get ready, right?
Right.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. I've known Crystal, how many years now? 12 years, I think.
Yeah, about 12 years.
Something like that, since I got started in all this madness. But our organization, National Asian American Coalition, I like to say that we're financial wraparound services. And what I mean by that is we do more than small business lending. We actually work with consumers, those that are trying to avoid eviction, who are renting, those that are trying to avoid foreclosure, we work with them. I'm recently a certified HUD counselor, so we're providing counseling in those areas. We're also providing down payment assistance. I'm gonna talk about the consumer side before we go to small business, but we do deal on the consumer side. We're helping people with access to credit if they're not in the conventional TransUnion, Equifax, Experian system. We have a platform called eCredible that we're working with, so people can start building credit on what they do every day. I pay my rent, I pay my gas, my bills, right? You could actually put this on this platform and start building your first credit score, if you will, and then eventually they graduate on to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax to join the rest of us. So that's something we're doing. We're also doing affordable connectivity programs. So we're giving people access through our partnership with Charter. How do you get affordable internet into your home? That's what we're here to do. We provide that information as well. For those that are in houses and possibly facing foreclosure, how do we help them work on modifications? How do we keep our folks in their homes? And if it just has to be that they have to walk away, well, how do they walk away gracefully and not be foreclosed upon? We're fighting with SB 1079 in Washington right now. This was a Senate bill that was put out that says investors have to wait in line, if you will, and not just go to the REO sales and buy up all the properties, raise the values in our neighborhoods, which prevents us from ever moving into a home from an apartment in our own neighborhoods because investors have outpriced their own neighborhoods. We're seeing that hugely, and I know that all of you are familiar with this in South LA. It's ridiculous what is happening, but a lot of this has been from ignorance on a part of our community, and then also lack of legislation that can stop that, where whether the community member doesn't like it or not, the investor still can't do it because this Senate bill has been put in place. They're trying to strike it down, so we're advocating and fighting for that right now. Moving on the small business side, we're providing technical assistance for those that are looking for lending. We are providing lending to small businesses up to $200,000. We are a CDFI and we're a SBA micro lender. Thank you, Delphine. You talked about the SBA and the access we have. Delphine and I are working together as well because we're here to figure out how can we help you. If you're not ready for lending now, do we need to introduce you to Crystal because you don't have your books in order? I don't know what the rest of you all do, so I won't use your names. I'll just use Crystal's for now. If you don't have a formal bank account, I'm introducing you to Delphine. Why aren't you banking, right? And we're here again. If we're giving you lending, we do work with startups. We do help people along the way. And when you're just not ready, we'll find counseling sources. Excuse me, I shouldn't say counseling as if people are out of their minds, right? But financial resources to help you understand how to better manage your business and get you in a place where you can be successful. Because it's not just about infusing capital just so you can make your rent the next month. It's about getting our small businesses on a track to get out of sole proprietorship. 91% of African-American small businesses across the US are sole props. Why is that? People, come on. Why are we doing that? Why are we just hiring? Why are we just bringing our family members in? Let's really pay people. Let's really build this business. So we're trying to get our businesses to understand how to be educated about managing that business, growing that business to the place that they can actually hire, and then expanding that business to the place that they can have more than one location, or ultimately a very successful location. Greg Doolan was with us weeks ago. He's a prime example of what can be done, right? Starting with his father. So we understand that we need to do more of that and promote more of that in our communities. Thank you so much for the opportunity to chat. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All righty. Thank you, Richard. We so appreciate you and all that you do. Tracy, you want to share with us, Ms. Watson? Don't know if she's there. So if she pops in, I do want to, in the chat room, guys, I got an email yesterday from Dr. Rosie Milligan, and she says that there is a community-based organization grant fund. Did you guys know that? So for all of our community-based organizations, Marquise Harris Dodson has a community grant and they're looking for people to apply for that grant. So the link is right there in the chat. Please, if you have a community-based organization, a nonprofit, go over there and apply so that they just don't have money that they're going to send back to somebody. Make sure that we're utilizing that money. We have about 10 minutes left. We cannot emphasize how important it is to go to vote at the polls. There are 27 offices that are actually open for let me go over to my little, so I can tell you guys. We got the governor, we got the lieutenant governor, we got the attorney general, we have the secretary of state, we have the treasurer, the controller, the superintendent of public instruction, state board of equalization. There are actually 4 seats there. The insurance commissioner, and I think there's like 3 or 4 council positions that are available. Remember that there were a lot of redistricting this year, so it is so important that you go out. It's my understanding that on the ballot to get everybody back to the polls is there is going to be some legislation there on changing the age that one can purchase a automatic weapon. So it is so important that we go and vote. And we also have, as Greg said, voting for the mayor. So you guys know we have some major issues in Los Angeles. We have 160,000 homeless people on the street right now. With all that goes along with that, when the housing moratorium is lifted, there will probably be another couple of 100,000 people on the street. Rent is just astronomical. I heard in New York they are actually being forced to reduce their rents because over 300,000 people have left the New York City because they cannot afford to live. New York City is higher than we are, but we right behind them. So everyone is living paycheck to paycheck basically, and you do not want to be on the street. So Tracy's on a call. So thank you, Tracy. She's at Alameda Construction, for those of you that know Tracy. So it's so important. So educate your 18-year-olds. We have a lot of kids that are graduating that are turning 18 years old or have turned 18 years old. Get them to the ballot. Their voice is important because now everything that we do is for our children. everything that we do. And so this world is just too entirely unstable for us to leave this world to our kids. So parents, instruct your children, educate your kids on how important it is to vote, and you get out there and vote as well. We cannot leave us up to the radical crazies that are running around loose in this country right now. We just cannot. Unless we're planning on leaving. So unless y'all planning on leaving and going to another country to live, this is all you've got. So you better fight for it. All righty, guys. So next week we have Leonardo Cabline. Most of you, hopefully you guys know him. He's with Brotherhood Crusade, and he works with the Youth Center, and he's got a great opportunity for small business owners and, and opportunities for hiring some of his kids. So he's going to come talk to us about that next week. What's going on? Else going on? Today's my mom's birthday. She's in heaven, but it's my mom's birthday today. So I'm celebrating her because she was an amazing mom. I loved her to death and still love her very much. So, guys, that's our show for today. So make sure you come back next week. Greg, anything you want to, and Stephen, any parting remarks?
Well, the only thing I wanted to share, and I get an email from somebody from my church, because there is a association. It's not the Black Women's Lawyers Association, but it's something similar here in Los Angeles, and they send out an email with information on the judges. Because I generally try to do research, but with voting for the judges, Superior Court judge, I'm just close. I don't know who to vote for. So I get an email right before elections, and be willing to share with you guys individually if you'd like on some suggestions on who to vote for. And they do the research on their case, how they're handling cases, their treatment of people of color, whether they're favorable or neutral or adversarial. So they do that research and then make a selection. So that helps. I encourage you to do that research on your own. And if you'd like, send me an email. I'll put that in the chat, and I'd be happy to share that with you. So,
send that to me, Greg. I still have to go through my ballot. I haven't gone through it yet. So,
yeah, send that to John May as well, Greg, please.
Okay. Well,
all right.
I'm gonna put my email in the chat. I'll put my my regular Gmail in there, and just send it to me, and then just say request it's GregoryJSneed@gmail.com. Well, I didn't mean to say that over.
Also, Bobby Gray, who's one of the
Crystal
guests
edited
on our
that out,
show,
right?
worked for the county DA office. He has a list of recommendations for the judges also that I can share with you, Greg. You can bear that to your list.
What was it? What was the name of the organization?
Bobby Grace.
Okay, Bobby Grace. Yeah, judges are important. Don't skip anything. College people, don't skip a thing. Because right now, we have crazy people out here. You got to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, guys. I really, really do. We cannot afford to just click boxes. We're just not in that world now. And it's so important, and our voices really matter. You saw that with people who are just incensed with what's going on, and I listened to some interesting videos this week, and it's really about tearing down the democracy because they're just so upset with everything, and they'd rather burn the country down than to try to preserve it. So I know that sounds like that's conspiracy theory, but that is the truth. And they are on a rampage. And just for the governor, I think I saw like 40-something people are running just for the governor. and 18 of those are Republicans. We cannot afford. They're just too unstable right now. So this is serious, guys. Hey, Candida Mobley, how are you?
Oh,
I'm great.
My goodness, we haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, and I'm sorry to be on so late. I was no excuses. Anyway, I'm happy to see you all.
Well, good to see you. We're about finishing up, but today we just kind of let everybody introduce themselves. So for those who don't know Miss Candida Mobley, Miss Candida, can you tell them who you are?
Let's see. I consider myself a community activist. I sit on several boards, including the West Angeles CDC. I am the vice chair of that board. I am the co-chair of the Legacy Ladies organization, and I do fundraising for Lifeline Educational Charter School in Compton, California. I'm probably best known as, I used to be a radio announcer at KJLH for about 8 years. and I'm building an affordable housing community on 84th and Normandy. I'm building 42 units there using some of the knowledge I learned being on the board of Los Angeles and using it to get some seniors and senior veterans housed over on 84th and Normandy.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for all that you do. Okay, guys, that's our show. Please all come back. Please share. Next week we have Leo Go Blind. This is our platform to inform and to keep us connected to what's going on in our community, and most importantly, to support each other. We only have each other. And there is no other life support, no Great White Hope. None of those people are coming to rescue us. The only people that's going to rescue us look like us. So
I can attest to that.
Right.
Hey,
So
we gotta reach out to our superhero Danger Man.
right. And right now, Danger Man is over there fighting for gun violence. So he's over at Community Build today. He just emailed me and told me he's sorry he couldn't come, but he has work to do in the community. So we do, guys. This week has been the last 10 days or last month has just been drastic. We had the people in Buffalo. We had last week the 21 children, babies in Texas. Yesterday in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think there was something somewhere else, wasn't it?
2 doctors and 2 there was two doctors and a receptionist and a patient that got killed in the hospital yesterday.
Yes.
And so what we want is 18-year-olds are barely old enough to live outside of their own parents' houses.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that they are not mentally and mature enough to have guns. So we need to make sure that there's some sort of controls going on to prevent 18-year-olds. And so if 18-year-olds can't get into a bar, they can't buy cigarettes, they can't rent a car till they're 26 years old, they should have absolutely no access whatsoever to an automatic, to any kind of weapon. Yes, Emily?
I was going to say, one of the things that they kept out the news, because I live out here in Santa Clarita, but one of the Walmarts actually was driven by twice and was shot several times into it. So that's another thing that you don't hear about that. No. You didn't hear anything about it. No one got hurt, but unfortunately it has happened twice. There's been like drive-by shootings into the Walmarts out here.
Wow.
Right.
And I want to go to the grocery stores now. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And I also heard that up in Oakland, they actually was able to, they were given some information before it actually happened, but a teenager was recruiting other teenagers to go bomb a school, several schools, and they were able to intercede the police officers, and they were able to find the bombs and all of the weaponry that he had, and that prevented a tragedy yesterday in Oakland. So we have to have gun reform. So it's just as hard as the NRA and the crazies are fighting for it, then we have to fight against it. And our voices are important. So just want you to guys say that. I don't want to hear anyone that I love, losing their children to crazy, or anyone to crazy, just insane people right now that just racist. It's just so much going on.
Yes.
So let's pray for everyone.
Yes.
You guys have a beautiful weekend. Be safe, and we will see you next week. And love to you all. Candina, come back.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right,
Love
John.
you. Mean it.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
B. Bye, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.